Camila had a strong game. I guess just, you've worked with her a long time. What did you notice like from her footwork and positioning and all those types of post things?
Yeah, I mean, Camilla's size is unique. And so, when she plays with that effort and that dominance, she's really hard to stop. And I thought she did a good job of getting herself in position. And I think we did a good job.
Recording in progress.
Mentally, where are you guys at after just the struggle that's been these last 2 to 3 games? Like, how are you guys trying to stay mentally strong when it's still only June and there's a long season ahead?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you could say it's the last 3 games, but it's been kind of consistent throughout. We haven't played consistently. And so I think the mindset is just to give more, to play harder, to play with a greater sense of urgency. As many games as they do come quick. And so the mentality has to be better the next day, and to learn from the losses and grow.
Question for either of you. Just want to get your thoughts on just the defensive pressure that you guys are getting from the Mercury today.
Yeah, I mean, I think we definitely struggled with it at the very beginning. It was struggled to get the ball in, struggled to kind of get it over half court, turning the ball over. And we kind of worked on that in practice, something we'll have to continue to grow into. Teams are going to continue to do that to us because they see that we struggle with it quite a bit. Just having pressure releases for our guards, thinking a little bit ahead, to try to mitigate those things. But we'll continue to work on it and get better from it.
How much of the struggle handling pressure do you guys think is just not having a true point guard on the floor a lot of the time, or is that not really like an excuse, I guess, that you want to use?
I mean, I've said it before that Sloot is irreplaceable. I mean, she's a future Hall of Famer, right? But ultimately, we have to do things by committee. We also have a lot of experienced players on our team, and so we still have to find ways to break the pressure that way.
Michaela, I know you guys aren't into the moral victories, but I just wanted to get your thoughts on just that, the fourth quarter, just kind of how you guys just kind of played with pride and just kind of finished the game strong.
I think when you're down that many points, I mean, you're kind of forced to, you hate to be in that position, but you're forced to play hard because it's like we're not looking at the scoreboard anymore. We're not looking at the score, and so I think a lot of times in our huddles, it's just like, guys, we have to play as hard as we can. As much as this sucks, like this brings momentum into the next game, and we play literally in less than 24 hours. And so if we can end the game, a little bit better than we started, that brings us momentum and might not reflect on the scoreboard, but we know at least that we can do that. We have the opportunity to do that. We can do that for a consistent 40 minutes.
This is for either of you. Just to that point, Michaela, when it comes to both of you and your respective abilities to be able to come off the bench and to provide considerable minutes and to contribute, do you feel as though you all are growing at least in confidence in terms of your abilities to contribute coming off the bench?
Oh, I can go. I mean, being in the league this long, I think I'm pretty confident, regardless if I play 5 minutes, if I play 40 minutes. So coming in and playing with effort is something I think Michaela and I have done a good job of. And like she said, we're going to take the momentum from the fourth quarter with all the players that we're in, and use that to continue to build moving forward.
Yeah. Did you see the press coming?
Yes, we did. We didn't handle it well early. They got out of it, in the second half, and they were in and out of it. But yes, we were aware of it. Yeah.
And then you guys spent the week working on handling pressure, and then this game was tough. I guess, how did you feel about it?
Yeah, I think sometimes handling pressure is mental as much as it is physical, and we didn't do it consistently enough tonight. Another 20+ point or 20+ turnover game, which is it's tough to win when you add that with giving up 2 30-point quarters to a team as good as Phoenix. It makes it tough.
Coach, I just wanted to get your thoughts on just the actions with AT and Whitcomb. Obviously, the 3-point shooting was pretty effective for Phoenix today. I just wanted to get your thoughts.
Yeah, I thought that we struggle staying connected to their shooters. They're a team that wants to get up a ton of threes. We knew that going into it. I thought that we lost connection to them way too often, and we talked about overhelping on their drives, and AT was still able to draw defenders and kick out, and they knocked them down. And so when you get down in that type of hole, our team isn't built to come back from those types of deficits. And so we can't put ourselves in that big of a hole that early. I thought that the group that played the whole fourth and closed out in the third continued to fight. But just overall, we gotta have a better approach.
Coach, the theme all season with you guys has been turnovers and then perimeter defense. At what point does there need to be some type of change, either from a roster standpoint or in how you guys approach game planning and mindsets?
Yeah, I think it's something that we continue to look at, especially game plan wise and what we have internally. We've mixed up the lineups here and there. We played several different lineups with multiple ball handlers out there just to kind of maintain and handle the pressure. And been struggling to find something that consistently works, but that's part of our job. So we got to continue to do that. In terms of changing the roster, I don't really want to get into that. I think that what we got to focus on is who we have in this locker room right now and understand what we got to do to be the best version of who we are and who we have right now.
Coach, to piggyback off of that, what is your message to this fan base who may, be losing hope or not having clarity of what the identity of this team is, given that we're seeing so much consistent issues throughout these games? What would be your message to the fan base that might be losing hope?
Yeah, I think it's fair. I think that we're all frustrated, obviously, but I think that as a fan and sometimes as a player, you're only able to see what's right in front of you. You don't have the whole picture or the whole story. And for us as a staff, we kind of have a big picture outlook. And so for us, as frustrated as we are, we know the work that we put in and that the players put in, most importantly, each day. And so nobody is happy. Nobody is content with where we're at. We continue to show up each day and put in the amount of energy and work to be successful. And it hasn't turned into the results yet, but we're going to keep fighting. And I think that as much as passion and dedication and work ethic is part of this city, I know the will to fight is as well. And so that hasn't been lost amongst us, staff or players. And so we're going to continue to push, continue to work, continue to fight. And I think as a coach, you can't fully invest with outside noise. You got to lock in for your players and stay consistent for them and keep them believing. And I think we do.
So, Coach, the half-court sets in the first half, you guys were, really getting the ball into Camilla. But what did you see there in that third quarter that kind of got out of control for you?
Yeah, I think that we got a couple players that are banged up, so that we want to be mindful of minutes. I think that when the game got out of hand there midway through the third, for us it was more preservation at that point, and players were almost at their limit anyway, being on a back-to-back, and so we wanted to be mindful of that. And if the game wasn't as out of hand, then maybe it would have looked different. But we got to be healthy and ready to go into Atlanta tomorrow. We got 3 games in 4 days with LA on that following Tuesday. So we got to be mindful of having healthy bodies so that we can give as good of an effort as we can going into tomorrow's game.
Hey, Coach. Camilla obviously shot 77% from the field today. Her consistency, her flow, her game is just continuing to grow pretty much every single game. What's your assessment of where she's at right now?
Yeah, I think that she asserted herself early today. She was did a really good job of being aggressive once the ball was into her and attacking before they could bring double teams and whatnot. I think that tonight offense, outside of the turnovers when their pressure, offense wasn't that much of an issue for us today. It was the defensive end. You can't give up 107 points and expect to come out on the higher end of that. So, usually a 86-point effort for us that's kind of where we would want to be. That's a really good day for us offensively, but we got to reciprocate that on the defensive end. So obviously we want to cut down the turnovers. I think when you look at the positives and being able to put 86 on the board with the amount of turnovers that we've had, there's still light at the end of the tunnel from that standpoint. It's just going back to a question earlier with the consistency is it's one game it's our offense, one game it's our defense. So finding opportunities to where both can kind of work hand in hand and be on the better side of it. That's what we're looking for and what we're striving for. So.